And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
And Lou.
We're talking Giants every day.
Big Lou. Big Lou.
From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright, fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us, breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride, talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes, yes, yes! Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
All right, welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live here Wednesday, January 7th, guys. How about that? Back here, Giants Sports Talk Live. Glenn, Lou, we're going to talk some more Giants. It's tough, man. You're right. You got to, throughout the day, I'm just like, what can I do that's going to kind of get me excited about this? And it's tough, man. I'm telling you, it's
Lou
tough.
and I are talking actually about jumping out to the green room some night, leaving you for about 45 minutes. What do you think, Lou? I think Eric can cover for 45 minutes of the off season.
I think it's tough, with us, our sponsors and the chat. It's hard to go more than twice a week sometimes because there's just no new news. We don't want to drive everybody crazy.
Yeah.
That's why we weren't on last night. We're not doing every night, and we're trying to play it by ear. It's, you think the chat, you think you guys are going insane? Look at us three. Remember, it was easy with this country. Now it's three of us driving each other crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. Today, I kind of used your title for our title. Glenn, you got New Year, New Hopes. Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. The San Francisco Giants going into 2026, again, as of today, but the way that it's looking by just the moves that the Giants have done in this offseason, which has been pretty unspectacular, right? We can all, I think, agree on that. Did they get depth? Sure, they got depth. But we're going to have to rely on a lot of hopes and dreams that some of these guys are going to pan out, to include the newest addition to the Giants, which is the manager, Tony Vitello. So it's going to be interesting. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say this right off the rip. My expectations have not dropped. The expectations are going to still be the same, where the Giants got to go out there and freaking win. I'm not going down this path of, because we got Tony Vitello that he could, quote unquote, take a mulligan. I'm not doing that. No, you went out there and you got him for a reason. So I expect some winning. You're throwing out almost the same roster with some additions to the starting rotation, but the lineup is going to be pretty much the same. It looks like, for all intents and purposes, it's going to be Ramos and Lee and Gilbert in the outfield. So guess what? If it's 500 baseball, well, guess what? I'm going to be out here saying something about it, because I don't expect 500 baseball, even if it's a new manager. If that's the case, then why did you spend an extra $6 million on a new manager, right? When you just could have kept Bob Melvin for another year and you would have paid him $4 million. If that's the same outcome, look, I know I locked up there. How many damn times, it's the San Francisco Giants are paying for my internet. How many times do we have to sit there and be relegated to expecting 500 freaking baseball? I'm just tired of it. So look, if they're not doing anything, then you better be working some damn magic with this coaching.
Eric, you got to remember, we got a whole coaching staff before we can depend on coaching. Remember, we don't even have a full staff yet. So, but it's coming. It's soon.
You know, Eric, you were talking off air before we went to Showtime. A little bit late as usual. What else is new? You think they're going to roll with what they've got? And I'm telling you right now, Eric, I was flipping through the TV land today. It made me think of the Giants. This is not the Mary Tyler Moore show, Eric. You're not going to make it after all, I'll tell you. You're not going to make it with this lineup, Eric. And you know what? When you enter the season with, we know, as an average fan, a Giants fan, a casual fan, you look at that. Eric, let's be honest. Call it spade a spade. This is an average vanilla roster. And listen, the White Star Line, they talked it up. They promoted it. Oh, this is great. It's luxurious. It's tremendous. And we all know what happened with Titanic.
Look at you, man, talking Titanic.
You can talk the big game, Eric. You can talk the big game. Giants are, oh my God, they're good at talking the big game, Eric. Every year. Well, we're giving the manager the keys to the kingdom. That doesn't work. And the keys to the car. I mean, it went off the road pretty quick, didn't it? And we have the best. We think we have the best bullpen in baseball. Give me a freaking break. And then our starting staff, I put our starting staff up against it. Come on. I can keep going, Eric. I'm here all night. And we got to fill the hour, apparently. Making my point, this is the same old New Year, same old. And
same old? You're talking, you want to talk about same old, huh? Oh, here we go.
We're going to compete with this roster, Lou?
San Francisco Giants, right? 2026 San Francisco Giants. There you go. 2026 San Francisco Giants. That's what we're at right now. That's exactly where we're at, and I'm tired of it. This is the shit that just pisses me off, man. And let's get into this just a little bit, Lou. I want to get to you here about this as well. You know, the Giants. Everybody is in Korea. And you know what? I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to go out there and try to get established in another country, right? The Giants are pretty well established in the Dominican Republic. And right now you can't get into Japan because the Dodgers have got the Japan locked down. So go out there and tap something that hasn't been tapped, and that's the Korean market. And that's smart. That's a smart business move. It's a long-term play. It's not nothing that's going to pay dividends in the near term. And you got, Jung Hoo Lee that's going to help you in establishing that a little bit because you're going to have him for the next 2 years. But it's all about the timing. Lou, this is what the Giants have been doing this entire time for the last couple of years. It's like they come out with some of the weirdest timing on making these announcements or even the decision with the nothing like it for, 3 years in a row? I mean, it's like, come on, man. What is you're a lifetime, right? For the most part, season ticket holder. I mean, what does this do for you as a season ticket holder?
First of all, we're talking about Korea and KBO. I just want to make a friendly reminder. 3 years ago, when Lee got signed by the Giants, the KBO was like between AA and AAA. So we're so desperate because we actually can't get anywhere else. We're going after guys that are AA, AAA people. Come on, dude. Yeah, buy a theater in Korea. I mean, this is ridiculous. Being a season ticket holder, I said this the other night, I'm not really excited. And I'm going to tell you right now how the Giants got off to a great start last year. I'm going to bring it up again. This start of the schedule, starting with the Yankees, then going to San Diego, coming home for the Mets and all that, it is a tough schedule. Do not be surprised if they're not 10-20. I'm going to predict it now. We'll bring up the schedule. You guys are going to tell me who are they going to beat, okay? The other thing is we're depending on guys that can fill our roster on the offensive end and our pitchers that haven't done it for a full season. We're taking youth guys, and I brought this up the other night. We have 4 veterans, but then at the same time, we have 5 guys 2 years or less. We then have our bench. We have 4 guys that are solid, but 2 are coming off injuries. I mean, everything is the old T-bar effect. a yes and a no, and you're not sure which way to go. It's horrible. It's horrible leadership. And the other thing, too, is maybe with all this, I'm not sure who's making the decisions anymore. I don't know if it's Buster. I don't know if it's Mania. I don't know if it's another owner. Maybe there's someone we don't know. But, I mean, a lot of these decisions are not making the fans excited. I mean, you got to remember, a month from now, the Super Bowl is going to be over, okay? It's going to be over February. And then we have literally 6 weeks until opening day. Are you telling me this team is better than last year? No. You know, we're losing Wilmer, who I thought was clutch. We're losing a first baseman that could hit who's clutch. We have a right fielder who's probably a level below Yaz, but last year everyone hated Yaz and right because he struck out too much. The other thing is, again, here's the Giants. The Giants front office are some of the Giants fans. They live in a dream world. We're not as good as last year. We're probably the same or a little bit less. Yeah, the Shamrock. And everybody else in our division is getting better, right? We're getting just older and just a lot of excuses. It's one of those things where, no other team is going to Korea because those guys are AA, AAA. Are you telling me we can't draft good enough? We can't get guys in our youth? So we're going after Korea baseball. Are you kidding me? How about at least go through the KBO and see who stars that maybe we don't know are playing in the KBO, not KBO, in the World Baseball Classic and go after them? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's almost like, I don't know who's in worse shape now. The Giants front office and their team, or the A's that can't even be called the A's. They can't be called the Vegas A's. They can't be called Las Vegas A's, but at least they have an exciting team. Our team's not exciting. Really, when you look at it, how are they exciting?
And you know what they're banking on? You know what they're banking on, Lou? And here we go, because we'll get into this. They're going to bank on Tony Vitello and Bryce Eldridge. And I'm sorry, hold on real quick. That's putting an awful lot on top of these guys at it coming up, right? You got Bryce, who's only had a cup of coffee in the major leagues. You're putting quite a bit on the young kid. Granted, we got some veteran guys in the lineup. I'm not saying that that's not going to help, because it will. But my God, there's again, that's why I said hopes and dreams, because we don't know what to expect when Bryce Eldridge has. If he does, I don't know. Does he start off on the club? Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. I'm leaning that he's going to, because who else are the Giants? No, don't get me wrong. Devers is going to attract people to the ballpark. I get it. He's a superstar, right? But when it comes down to wins and losses, what are you going to do when Tony Vitello, again, this is his first, I'm not doubting that he is a great baseball guy, but this is the major leagues. It's just like when the minor leaguer guys come from AAA and they come up to the big leagues, it's different. It just is. So again, there's going to be a spotlight on these guys. And I would think that you would at least help Tony to a certain extent in giving him a roster that he can work with. That's going to, hey, you know what? This is pretty decent. But when you're going to run out the same exact guys as far as the lineup, where was the offense ranked last year? It wasn't that well. It wasn't that good. And now the rotation
strikeouts, number 2, bottom up. These are all bottom of the barrel.
We're at the bottom third of everything for offense.
Position. Here's the other thing. Is if you look at the first month of the season, first 5 weeks, Tony is going to be going against experienced managers.
True.
Experience, right? That they're going to look at him, and again, he's going to try the best he can, but he's going to be thrown to the wolves. And this team, like I said, I'm going to predict it right now, and I hope I'm wrong. 10-20, their first 30 games. Teams are going to have better pitching, better hitting, better coaching, better everything. We're really up against it. And that's what's scary, because last year, as our buddy Dan pointed out, they started off 12-4.
Yeah, they started off on fire.
Maybe 12-2. It's not going to be like that this year. It's going to be very difficult. So, they're up against it. I agree. It's going to be tough. But
and Glenn, let me get your thoughts on this. And that's just the hitting. And, of course, we're going to have Drew Gilbert out there in the outfield, man. His glove is great, man. I'm not saying that his glove isn't. But, my God, I mean, we saw he had a longer experience in MLB than Bryce Eldridge did last year. But were you impressed? I mean, yes, hold on. I understand it's his first take, so there could be a learning curve. I get it. But we're going to have to rely on these guys, man. We're going to have to rely on the same lineup. And then now, with this rotation, did you guys see? Oh, hold on. I got to show you this. Did you see what the predictions are for the rotation right now for the Giants?
The only thing getting me excited, Lou, is my buddy.
Yeah, crazy crab.
My buddy, the crab. He's the only thing that gets me excited at Oracle Park, Lou.
Our pitching, Eric, is it not what you said the other night? Has it changed already?
Check it out. Here we go. 2026 projected rotation WAR. Okay, again, this is WAR. Of course, it involves a lot of things. But okay, number one,
we're not in the top 8, and we're not 16 to 23. I wonder where we are.
I don't think we're between 8 and 9 and 15, Lou. Just going to go up there on a limb.
Currently, again, projections, right? 24th. Take it for what it's worth. These are projections. 24th in WAR as far as the rotation is concerned. And you tell me. Now explain this to me. Now going with this, Glenn, I want to ask you this. Usually a starting rotation, you want to get 1,800 innings from the starting rotation. Pencil in Webb for 200, okay? Just for all intents and purposes, all things being equal, 200 innings for Logan Webb. How many innings are you going to get from Robbie Ray? What do you think?
Jeez, you know what? You're just...
Do you think he even gives you?
You know what the back end looks like. So all of a sudden, that's a load.
Does he even? Let's just say
now you gotta put. You know how much pressure is going to be on the top end of this rotation now.
Yes.
Eric?
Okay. Let's say he's at 150 innings pitched. Right.
Yeah.
150. All right. So where does Hauser? How many innings does Hauser pitch?
Go. Listen, you're just basically you're skiing downhill at this point. But I know you don't want to, a lot of guys don't want to hear it. Either you don't want to hear it or you don't listen when I say it, but it's sad and true, as Metallica would say. Sad but true.
Oh.
One injury, especially Webb or Ray, one injury, Eric. This lineup, just the pitching staff, this lineup, this team is screwed in 26. As it stands now. And we always go back to as it stands now, because tomorrow we could break baseball and make a big deal. I ain't expecting it. I don't think so. Let me check with the crab. A big deal coming? Nope. So crazy would know.
Yeah, and here we go. So 150 for Ray. How many innings pitch will Hauser give you?
I think
I know. What's 120? Well, let's give him benefit of the doubt. We'll give him 130. All right, 130.
Ooh,
okay. How many innings pitches is Landon Roop going to give you?
He's going to have to get 130, 150, Eric.
Let's go 140. All right, 140. Right, and then what do you got? Maui, right? Oh, I don't even know what Maui's going to give you.
65.
Well, I'll give benefit of the doubt 100.
65. I'm not.
We're at 370.
I wrote them down. Right. What?
Right. No, that ain't right. I messed up.
That ain't right.
What do you have?
But it sure as hell ain't 1,800.
No, it ain't. What is it? What are we sitting at?
1, 2, 3, 4. You got how many for Webb? 200?
200.
Geez, Eric, you're like a third of what you're hoping for.
Right.
You're at about 600 innings.
600 innings. Right. And then the bullpen, and then we haven't really got into we're going to probably have some other guys are going to take in some innings as well. And then the bullpen, of course, but that's a lot of innings that you're going to have to bridge. And yes, they have a lot of depth. Birdsong, Tidwell, Tang, Carson, Seymour,
Brubaker.
Brubaker will be in the pen. You got McDonald also. I mean, this is not going to be easy. Hey, guys, we got I forgot to get to
Eric, it sounds like you're talking about a pitching staff, a roster, a team. I mean, this isn't independent baseball, Eric. We're supposed to be one of the top spending. We're supposed to be one of the most powerful teams in baseball. And we're not. We're like an independent. You know, the Winnipeg Goldeyes, I think, spend as much on their talent each year than the San Francisco Giants.
Uh.
And they win a lot more championships in the last 15 years than the Giants.
Let me get a couple of these in here. JB donated $2 Australian, says Justin Dean. Yeah, they let him go. Yeah, thank you. TBD, what's up? Donates $2. Dodgers will get Bichette and Tucker in the end. I don't know if they get both, but I think they're going to get. I wouldn't be surprised if they get Bo Bichette. Thanks, TBD. Hey, TBD, I think you sent us a $10 super chat last on Monday, and I think I forgot to hit it. Sorry about that, TBD. I got a little bit carried away, so sorry about that.
So, Eric, when we look at it, I'm just looking at the 40-man roster of pitching staff. We do have a lot of innings. Don't panic. Are you kidding me? I just want to say, Tristan Beck, right? He's good, for maybe 20 innings? Birdsong, I don't know. I'll give him, maybe 50 if he's a long guy. Bivens, I don't know. Brubaker, Glenn's buddy, Bucco.
Easy. What are you talking about, Lou? Come on now.
And then, Eric Miller, if he's even healthy, is good for maybe 20 because he doesn't pitch that much.
Yeah, he had a cranky elbow, right?
Our buddy Rodriguez, 0 for the year. Roop, we just don't know. Seamer, the guy who I was never a big fan of, but everybody else was. Kiwi Kang.
Eric's closer. Eric's got
you got Kang and you got Walker. I mean, come on. It's like that's what I'm saying, Eric, is if you remember last year when Robert Rothberg came on here and claimed the Giants were going to win 120 and go 20 and 142, the beginning of the year, if you remember, we had too many starting pitchers. Our bullpen was good, but we're not as good as we were last year. And I think teams don't improve when your pitching staff is not as good as the year before. I know we traded 2 of our guys away, but and that's why I think we're actually a lot worse. Not our baseball. I mean, not our offense and our hitters and everything, because we do have a lot of holes, but our pitching staff really sort of held us together the first, I'd say, quarter, maybe half of the season. And right now we have so many question marks. Our guys that were really our 5th and 4th starter last year got hurt. We don't know how they're going to be coming back. We have a guy closing that everybody absolutely hates, that has no faith in. I think you bring up a great point. Forget about the offense. They got to do something with our pitching staff, because really we got a couple guys that might be good as a 4th to 5th starter, but we really haven't gone. Who's our other closer? Our closer every other game was like Jekyll and Hyde. We still don't have lefties. We have a lot of problems. And last year, I thought the great thing that held the Giants is everybody knew their role. We knew who was pitching the 8th inning every time. He's no longer with us. We don't really have someone that's replaced him. We knew someone that was going to be like the 6th or the 7th inning. We really haven't replaced him. We're just hoping. And when you do that for a pitching staff, that's where your season can go really bad. That's where you go, oh my God, the Giants went 60 and 102. Why? You have an injury. Oh, it just wasn't our year. You have guys that have never done the full thing. The last 3 years about the Giants, and Dan brought this up when I was doing his show, is the Giants by July 4th and August 1st, always their pitchers ran out of gas. If you take Webb away, and Ray last year sort of ran out of gas too. These guys run out of gas, and all of a sudden, before you know it, that's when you come home and you lose, get swept at home to Tampa Bay and Miami, because your pitching can't go more than 3 or 4 innings. And we were lucky. If you take Webb away, I mean, it always seemed like every game was a 5 1/3, 4 1/3, and then the bullpen got washed up by that. I think that's the biggest problem right now. If they're going to keep the offense, that's fine, but you got to improve the pitching staff a little bit.
Eric, don't you feel like this is being run like a poor fantasy team? And I would know, Eric and I would know at the bottom of the barrel every freaking year, but I'm telling you, it is like a poorly constructed fantasy team. It's,
you know what?
They want a little of this, and then, we didn't replay. Like Lou brought up a good point. Lou brought up one of the, and I can't believe we're saying this, but wasn't Rodgers one of the most, probably the most underrated aspect of our team last year? That 8th inning was his. I can only remember one game where it got away when he was out pitching. Maybe more. I can remember one. one I watched on television. I wasn't even there. And Lou, they haven't replaced him. It's just a poorly constructed mess, in my opinion, Eric.
You know what? And here's the thing. Scared baseball is losing baseball. Period. And if you're not willing to go and do some risk taking, because what's the one thing the Giants needed to do? They needed to get that rotation solidified. If you had, and I would have been fine with this. Don Michio says signing Framber solves a lot for the rotation. He eats it. He's an innings eater, and not only that, he's excellent. The dude is a ground ball machine. He's got a career ground ball rate percentage of 60%, man. I mean that, and look, Robbie Ray is going to walk next year. Who is going to take his spot for next year, right? So after next year, you got one guy, right, in Webb. After that, you got Hauser, and then a bunch of unknowns.
Eric, you're putting all your eggs back in the same basket again with, you look, what you got on the screen, you left it up. Sign Framber. Sign Framber. And all is saved. All is good.
No, it's not.
Look, we couldn't even give up a 60th ranked prospect and got Cabrera.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. But I would rather go and get the guy who has no injury history, right? Don't get me wrong. Edward Cabrera is probably going to be a good pitcher, but Framber, you know what you're going to get.
He could get hurt.
Look, the Giants had the money to do that. The Giants had the money to get Framber without busting the CBT. Yeah. I would have much rather, if the Giants went out there and had Webb and Framber and Ray, and then if you wanted to go out there and sign a Hauser or a Malley for 1 year, and then your fifth rotation spot could have been one of your depth. It could have been Tidwell, it could have been Birdsong, could have been McDonald, could have been Seymour. You have the depth to go out there and piece together the fifth, but you got three guys at the top of your rotation, and you're going to do something. Then you go out there and you find a freaking closer. Then you just find a decent bat just to lengthen the lineup a little bit. And you know what? The Giants would be in a much better position than going out there and just going to get Hauser and Malley and Hintages and Foley. Foley, you're not going to even see until freaking sometime in July. I mean, come on, man. Come on. And you won't exceed the CBT. I don't know. Look, I don't know.
I think
it's frustrating, man.
I think you're just fooling yourself, Eric. I think in this day and age, the top 5, 6 teams in Major League Baseball that will compete next year, they're not rolling out 2 or even 3. They're rolling out 5-man rotation, Eric. The teams that want to compete do what the Cubs did today. They're piecing together. Get me this guy. Get me this guy. And we're just like, well, what should we do? The teams we're not aggressive. Don't you agree? We're not aggressive. We're just not aggressive.
Yes. No, you're spot on. We're not right now. The Giants are not aggressive.
And it's like they don't care. And that's what the attitude I get is when you're not aggressive, Eric, and you're not talking. There's no talk even. We're not even hearing chatter, Eric. It's like, the people will show up. They'll buy hot dogs.
Yeah.
Well, Dan brought that point up, and as much he's on the fence on it with me. Dan brought up my name last night. He said, "Well, Glenn goes to the ballpark, and Lou, you're a ticket holder. You should be in that conversation more than me, Lou. You're paying a hell of a lot more. I'm in the third deck. You're down at the freaking you know." My life savings for those seats in one season, but we go and we watch it. And he's saying, well, it's our fault because we go watch that kind of product. But at the end of the day, I want to go watch baseball too. I mean, I want to watch baseball. I don't even have the option anymore to go to the East Bay. I want to watch baseball. So you can't blame us for going. And I have been on the record, Eric, I'll pass up a Giants game for a good WNBA game down the street. I've been open to that, haven't I? So
hey, Eric, I have a question. And Glenn brings up a good point. Do you think with the A's out, the Giants are saying, hey, you're going to show up regardless of who we put on the field?
There could be a thought.
Because we don't have the competition. And I know we're about to talk about the Cubs trade. But, the one thing is a lot of fans said, oh, the Cubs don't have Tucker anymore, right? He's gone. Well, I want you guys now with this trade, I want you to see their pitching staff compared to ours, because here's a team that made a move that now they're actually better than us. You know, when you look at their team, they have a better team than us. And now we have them and Atlanta, who we said, oh, you know, they had a horrible net last year. We're going to have a tough time even being close to the third wild card with the team we have. Because these other teams, you know, people forget the Cubs were a playoff team last year. Okay, yeah, they didn't lose Tucker, but now they got another starter. You know, if that's the thing about us is the National League West has gotten better this year. The Giants last year probably had to beat two, three teams because of injuries to be the third wild card. Now they probably got to beat 5. And with our team, I don't know if we're going to be able to compete with 5 teams for one spot.
You bring up a good point, Lou. Eric, you just mentioned the guys that the Cubs are picking up. They're picking their pieces, picking a piece. It may not be you can replace him, Kyle, with a couple of players and get kind of leverage that way. But we lost Rogers in a trade last year. What are we doing in the 8th inning? Did we ever replace Wilmer's gone. Have we replaced his bat? Like, have we replaced him? What about Dominic? Have we kind of replaced our bench player?
Dominic is the
We're
one.
not. We're going back. We're taking steps backward. Like we're in quicksand here.
Look, the starting 9 is going to be the same currently as it stands right now. And the bench, we don't know. That's a question mark. I don't know where the bench is. TBD donates another. We're quick to get to the sub. Let's do this.
Okay,
TBD $5 says free agents will be much more costly as the years go by. Best to sign the best players for long-term deals. Look, TBD, this is how we talk about this every offseason. We talk about this every offseason. Look at this deal. But guess what? In 2 to 3 years, that deal's a bargain. It goes up every single year. That's just the way it is. Just like freaking real estate, man. Real estate continually goes up unless you freaking have a freaking crash. But my God, it's not going to change. It just isn't. And right now, the Giants are not willing to throw down these big contracts. They're just not.
Nope.
They're not. And then as far as the trade, right? We're talking about Cabrera. What is it? Their big guy going back is what his name? Owen Cassie? Is that his name? I think it's his first name, Owen. He's the 49th ranked out of the top 100 going back to Miami. And I think they're also picking up their 11th ranked prospect in their organization is going back to Miami. And I think there's a third in there somewhere as well. So yeah, the Cubs are going out there. They're making trades. And we'll see what happens. I know there was a lot of talk about maybe the Yankees were going to be involved, but it looks like they weren't. So Cubs go out there and they fortify their rotation. Lou, you talk about how
Eric, the thing is,
you talk about how the Braves are better.
This guy also has,
And the Reds are going to be there. The Cubs are going to be there. The Brewers are going to be there. The Padres are probably going to be there. Arizona, they're trying to maybe get Bregman. They're going to be there. So, I mean, it's.
And the thing about the Cubs move today is if it doesn't work out, the guy still has 3 years left. They'll trade him at the trade deadline and get prospects back. Where, the Giants, again, I talk about this sometimes. The one thing about the Dodgers is they're always thinking 2-3 years ahead. These good organizations like the Cubs saying, hey, let's do this now so we can try to make the playoffs. If it doesn't, we'll trade and we'll think of the future. That's something the Giants just are not doing.
No vision.
You bring up the 11th and 27th prospect. I don't even know who the Giants prospects 5 through 10 are. And I'm sorry, I thought I'm a Giants fan, but I can't name these guys. I just don't know. And that's the problem when you don't really have a farm system. You can't trade because all we ever hear about is we can't trade Eldridge. We can't trade Eldridge. But you know what? Remember during the offseason, God, should the Giants trade Eldridge? Because he's really our only chip. And I'm not saying Eldridge won't be a superstar. We just don't know. But behind him, we don't have anything. We don't have anything that people are calling us saying, hey, would you guys be willing to take this like the Marlins and we'll take your prospect? Oh, no, you don't have anyone. Forget it. I think that's a big problem. We always say about how bad our farm system is and we don't have anything. But this is during the offseason when you can't make trades. That's when it really, hits forward. The Giants have a major problem. Not only the major league team, our farm system. But as somebody will say in the chat, oh, we won. The San Jose Giants won single A. Nobody gives a shit when you win single A. That means absolutely nothing to the real fan. Now, if you're a local guy and you're from San Jose and they won, that's great. But the last time they won, only 2 of those guys actually made the majors. So, it's all about wins on the major league teams, because if you look, all these other people that we're competing about have great farm systems. And, it's something where I think in the offseason, it really points out how bad our farm system really is.
Eric, I talk about not replacing guys in our roster. You, I think 2, maybe 3 times already have used the term, this is what we got. So if we roll with this lineup and we're not replacing the players we've lost, and we were a 500 team last year that didn't make the playoffs, then where the hell are we going this year, Eric? That is my question. That is the question that should be answered. We're going backwards. This is not a playoff team. So, like Lou says, the chat will be, as the season starts to get closer, we hit camp, it'll be, oh boy, what a year we're going to have. Yes. You know what?
You know what? As I'm looking at the chat, and I've been following some of the people who follow the Giants on Twitter, there ain't a whole hell of a lot of people out there that are happy. I'm telling you. There isn't.
He'll pop out on opening day. We're going to go unbeaten. They'll be the regulars. Jesus. And we got Eric Rothberg.
Telling you, it's going to.
Eric Rothberg. Wait a sec, Eric. Can we go on record now? Do you think this is it? Because you have been.
This is it.
You've been telling me. You've been telling me the old wait till after the season, wait till after the postseason, wait till after wait till the managers' meetings now, wait till the new year. So I'm not even holding my breath. I'm not waiting till like the start of the training.
As they say,
done.
Hey, as they used to say, that ship has sailed. Look, you had your opportunity, right? And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We talked about this on the last show, right? There's a lot of guys out there, that big name guys are still out there, but the Giants aren't in the big name guys. They're not. If you want to talk Harrison Bader, Mike Talkman, Isaiah Tainafalefa, Willie Castro, okay, yeah, maybe those guys, right? Maybe those guys. But if you're talking Framber and Bichette and Bellinger, they're not coming to the Giants. Come on. They're not coming to the Giants. The only thing I think they may have left in them is maybe a trade, but who knows?
I think Crazy Crab needs a trade too. I mean, he doesn't even
remember the Giants are only
showed up twice last year, Lou. He doesn't even want to show his.
The Giants last year were about $25 million under the CBT. This year, right now, I think they're at about 32. So there's not much more wiggle room that the Giants are gonna do as far as the CBT. They don't want to get up to the CBT. I think you should get up to it or close to it, right? Save a couple for maybe a trade deadline, but I think this is what it look. And it wouldn't surprise you. Like I said, if they go out there and get a Harrison Bader, would not be surprised. Would not be surprised one bit. But Manassian has already said on the record they are very comfortable. Very comfortable with the starting rotation.
I don't agree with Dallas. Listen, if they sign one big guy, my tune is not going to change overnight.
No.
Okay, so if they sign a big pitcher, Eric, we're still screwed in that starting nine.
And I'm going to tell you something right now.
A big bat and we don't have any more pitching. We're still screwed. We don't have a bullpen. There are too many holes. Signing one guy is not fixing this problem.
Look, no, and here's the thing. The only way that this team will improve by one guy is a starting pitcher, but they're not going to do that. If Manassian comes out and says they're very comfortable, how do you move off of very comfortable into going to get a Framber Valdez? There's not. No. There's an ocean between very comfortable and signing Framber Valdez. It just is. And look, and say they sign Cody Bellinger. Is that going to do anything as far as the run prevention? No, it's not. You might have maybe a couple of more wins with Bellinger, but you're still in the same boat. It's not going to change the fact that the Giants are going to have a difficulty with the starting rotation. It just is. That the way forward, and I said this from the beginning, was to go get a legitimate starting pitcher, either a number 2. I didn't want to really get a 3, but if you got a legitimate number 2 or even a number 1, then you're because that's look what the Giants did last year with only 2 really good starting pitchers. They were 3 games away from getting into their 3rd wild card. Come on, whatever. Preach it to the choir.
I'm also going to go back and say something, Eric. When we started this show a year and a half ago, I was of the opinion, I'm carrying it around my back pocket for a while, but I still maintain, Eric, you either got to, you got to spend the money. You got to build this and spend the money, Eric, or you blow the freaking thing up and you draft for the next 5 years. Like, I go back to the Houston Astros. I can remember going to watching them play over in Oakland back around 8-9 years ago. And my God, they were like a 55-win team, a 60-win team. They played the long game, went the draft, got younger players, made some deals. All of a sudden, they're competitive. We don't. I hate using the line from Dan, but we don't have a lane, Eric. What are we doing? Well, this guy is going to be good in a couple of years. We got to keep him. We can't trade him.
No, you know what?
Anybody? They don't have a lane.
No, they have chosen a lane, and it's just to sit there and be in the middle. They just want to tread water. That's that's the lane. This is what it's been for the last 4 years. It's right in front of our face. There is a lane. We want them to pick either to rebuild or to spend a bunch of money, but they're happy on doing what they want to just be able to do enough. Yes. They just want to be able to do enough.
You're right.
Hey, Glenn, they might not have in Canada, but in the United States, we have a thing called the rest area. That's what lane the Giants are. They pulled over in the rest area and they're just waiting. And waiting. I'm glad our sponsors haven't recognized that we take a rest a couple of nights a week, Lou.
Giant Sports Talk Live, brought to you by Lefties in Burlingame. Visit Lefties for all of your Giants collecting needs. By GenesisGoldIRA.com, Signatures for Soldiers. Duxwell Printing, for all of your printing needs in the Bay Area. Visit Duxwell Printing at 37 Wentworth Place in San Francisco. And by BetterCreditCards.com, for the best credit card choice for you. Visit BetterCreditCards.com, covering the San Francisco Giants nightly. Online, we are Giant Sports Talk Live. Now, back to Eric and Glenn.
Eric's refueling all right at the moment. So it's Glenn and Lou. Lou, we're kicking that can down the same road, it seems, every night. Eric kind of put me in my place, and rightly so. I say we're not rebuilding, but at the same point, we're not spending the money. So Eric and I are on the same page, I believe. We don't. He says, I call it not picking a lane because we're in the middle lane. Eric says we're in the middle lane. They're content. What do you think, Lou? If it's your team tomorrow, are you spending the money and like thinking we're going to compete right away, spend all that money, or are you going to strategically build this thing the right way? Because I still think it's got to be a long term. You got to look to the future.
I completely agree. And I think one of the things Eric talked about is we need a pitcher because we know Ray's not going to re-sign with us. So why not get a guy, pay a little bit more so he can actually go from the 3rd spot to the 2nd spot? The other thing is the Giants right now, and I see in the comment, I'm going to use a line that you keep saying, Lou, you invented it, safe. Right now they have a team that's safe, right above 500, and they're happy. And again, if we're someone like the Pittsburgh Pirates or someone like Tampa Bay where we can't really compete and spend money, that's fine. But we're the San Francisco Giants, and I think the big problem with the Giants now is they can't use 3 and 5 years anymore. And to tell you the truth, if the Dodgers win next year, nobody's going to care about the 3 and 5. It's going to be over 12 years. Okay. You're going to say, how can we knock down the big Giants of the big giant Dodgers down from their beanstalk? It's one of those things where right now they're just content on the past. They're not looking to the future. Eric brought up a great point. Ray's going to be gone. So who do we have to replace him? Maybe one of these young guys? Well, it's a lot of hope when we have guys that can't even compete for a whole year. How are they going to compete when they're the man on the mound? There's a big difference. One of the things that we talked about with the closer, it's easy to do the 8th inning. But when you do the 9th, it's different. To get those final 3 outs is almost impossible. We're depending on a guy named Ryan Walker, where, to tell you the truth, after the 2nd pitch, if he's going to be affected or he's not. And if you saw at the end of the year, he would have 2 great things, retire him 16 pitches. The next 2 starts, it'd be 32 pitches in. He's already blown a 2-point lead and the bases are loaded and nobody out. And I think it's, it's really tough where you can't go into a season not knowing what your job is. Are you the long relief? Are we going to depend on having 3 guys that are long relievers? Is that where we're going? If it is, that's fine. But you got to at least let these people know. The other thing is the Fan Fest, right? The Giants Fan Fest is on the 17th. Who is going to show up to go see Tony V, Tristan Beck, Kristen Koss, Ryan Walker, Casey Schmidt in a sling, and Eldridge? Are you going to go drive all the way to see these guys? I guess not. Maybe that guy to get a giant hat. But, you got to give teams a little excitement. Like right now, I'll just use other sports things. Bay Area, the Sharks are exciting to watch. People are watching them. They're not really watching the Warriors. When Curry doesn't play, nobody cares about the Warriors. Nobody wants to watch them because they're getting old. They're fading. Okay? You got the Valkyries. Everyone wants to watch because they were new last year, but they were a playoff team. So next year, people are going to say, what can the Valkyries do? With the Giants, we haven't been in the playoffs. We've only had 1 winning season since, in the last 10 years. It's gotten to the point where, enough is enough. You guys got to do something. Their promotions this year, if you notice, they're doing a Valkyries thing because they're doing a hot thing. They're doing something on Star Wars anniversary. But, they're not really doing old Giants or anything because they can't. And again, we've talked about it. They got a gift this offseason with Jeff Kent. They'll come up with something for Jeff Kent.
They probably won't, Lou. But you bring up an excellent point after the show last night or a couple of nights ago. Do you remember, Lou, I mentioned that the game I got to go to, I got to get my Giants baseball jersey edition of the Valkyries shirt. And Bernice brought up a good point last night after the show, or Monday night after the show. She said, the San Francisco Giants really want to use these promotions. They're drawing people by using the promotions, and they're promoting nothing to do with their own product. Like you just said, a Star Wars night and the Valkyries night and the San Jose Sharks night. And, last year, how many games? I think it was 2 or 3 nights they focused on Warriors. There was a Warrior t-shirt, Warrior hat. They're focusing not on their product, and that's something that she brought up, and I go absolutely right. And Lou, I think you touch on it. They're using marketing, but they can't even market their own product. And like Dan, when he called out, myself last night for going and at least supporting the team, hey, I'm in that third deck, Dan. I'm buying those $5 tickets. That's all I'm spending is the $5. So maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's me and everybody else in the 300.
You know what?
Paying $5 and they can't afford anybody.
You know what?
Well, that's the truth of it.
You know what? There is a better value for that $5, Glenn.
You're right,
Special
Eric.
thanks to Tommy's Mexican, where you can go and get the world famous Tommy's margarita. Again,
and doing this show makes me want to have a margarita. With the Giants.
Well, I'm thinking Eric's onto something. Maybe we spend our money. You and I next season, Eric can man the confines of the studio while you and I, we don't go to Oracle. We'll go up to Tommy's, couple of the margaritas, at least when they freaking lose, and we know it's coming, we won't feel so bad, Luke.
There you go. I'm telling you, but there'll be you'll have a better product going to Tommy's Mexican.
Great news
than going to damn Oracle Park. This is
24th and Gary. Tell Lou and Giants.
59.29. 59.29. I got her locked in, Lou.
No problem.
Oh my God.
Power won't go out this time.
What a mess that was, huh?
No show, Lou. No show, Lou.
But I don't know, guys. This is just look. And this is what, you know what pisses me off? I was feeling so good last year, man. You go out there, you trade for Devers. You kind of had you kind of scuffled there for a while. Then you had a huge run. Then you fall by the wayside, and it's like, okay, they're going to add on. And now and I tell you what, you know what makes this even worse? Just again, I've said this already. As a baseball fan, Major League Baseball has totally just dropped the damn ball. Here we are now in college playoffs and NFL playoffs. The MLB for that little period of time where they were the centerpiece, and they totally just screwed this all up. Here we are, January 7th. God, I've never seen this. Have you guys seen it where it's been this many potential free agents out there that have not signed? I mean, this is crazy.
I think I speak for Lou. You know, next week, at this time next week, it'll be calming down a little bit. I know it's not your department, Eric, and really not mine. I really don't care at the end of the day. But come Sunday night, by Sunday late afternoon, I figure the Niners are going to be done because, you know, they had the week schedule all year. Now that I told Lou, I said, wait till the playoffs, and they have to start playing ranked teams. They got Philly in Philly this weekend. And there's like 100 people going from San Francisco on the flight over to watch that. Like, that's really going to give them some kind of a boost. It's going to be short and sweet. Nobody's going to talk about the Niners by next Wednesday or Thursday. Season's over, done. Right, Lou? I mean, they were scrapping out wins this year against wannabes. Teams that, hey, like the Giants, don't even have coaching staff right now, right, Lou? They were all fired. So, yeah, the Bay Area. We have hey, isn't it ironic that everybody shit on me for being a Valkyries fan and they're the only team that makes like a solid run in the postseason? I don't get it. But anyway.
Eric.
We've danced around this long enough. Are we a playoff team?
No. But real quick, let me get to this because Dallas is asking a question about why free agents are still out there. You know, I don't know if you've heard about this. Someone asked, I can't remember who asked. Gosh, it was someone in some journalist.
Somebody asked Armand, right?
Scott Boras.
Oh,
Scott Boras. They asked Scott Boras, what's going on with these free agents? He had the nerve of all people, Scott Boras. He's blaming it on the owner of the Toronto Blue Jays. He's saying because of that Cease deal that they're the movers and shakers and they're the reason why no other players have. I was like, get out of here. Dude, your guy, look, Scott Boras always has his guys wait until the damn very end of the freaking offseason before they sign. For him to blame the Toronto Blue Jays owner was a little bit, that was a bad look because we all know what Scott Boras is about. So, but to answer your question, Alice, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what the hell's going on. Is it the potential labor strife that's going to happen in 27? Is it,
don't you think, Eric, if there's somebody who's aggressive, people always, where Lou brought it up a few minutes ago, talking about how how do we beat those Dodgers? Do you think the Dodgers are worried about us? Because the Dodgers go get it done and we don't. So if Boras is saying, well, it's the Blue Jays, they're so aggressive. Well, if they're aggressive, better get your ass in gear and be aggressive yourself and compete. We don't compete. Eric, isn't my December prediction coming true? Last dog at the freaking bowl.
Well, it's the problem is you have to be willing to be aggressive to be the last dog. They're not even at the bowl. They're not at the bowl. You got to be at the bowl to be last at the bowl, but they're never to the bowl. The only bowl the only bowl that is being visited is being flushed right down the damn toilet. That's the
Backyard.
only thing.
Pick up your poop. You got to pick up the poop.
Exactly. That's the bowl. It's the porcelain type of bowl that we're talking about. And it's frustrating. Look, I said this last time. My expectations were that I thought the Giants, did I think they're going to go out there and like go absolute apeshit? No. It would have been nice. Yeah, absolutely. But the way that I've been watching, I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah. Speaking of the porcelain bowl, Eric, I was looking at the text.
Whatever.
Looking at the text messages today,
it is.
and you're aware that this isn't like some kind of AI. I'm actually here, Eric, Lou, Eric. I'm actually here. Pinch me. Wow. I looked at my last couple of text messages with Eric. Please do a wellness check. He goes, be careful. Because last year, Christmas Eve dinner, I near died. So he goes, be careful. Be careful with the in-laws. Christmas dinner, I know it's tough for you. I said, Eric, please do a wellness check. Yeah, no problem. And here we are. What is the date, guys? January what? 7th? I'm still waiting for the wellness check, Eric. He hasn't checked in.
You're here. How did that go?
Anyways? AI. Maybe it is. I've never looked this good. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Lou didn't pass the physical. I'm AI. You're going to be the only guy holding this thing down. I'm telling you, Eric.
Hey, and I got my second shingle shot today, so my arm is absolutely freaking sore right now. So, hey, I'd rather get that. I'd rather be sore for shingles,
so price
that's the thing. Hey, look,
Eric.
I go announce
Giants. Get your shots. Don't listen to me. I don't know nothing. Get your shots, Eric. Jesus.
Hey, I heard that getting shingles is not a good thing.
So we're not going. Oh, I've had them. Sore.
Not good.
This guy and me, we might boycott. I'm telling you. I don't know. Lou and I are going to go up Tommy's. That's all I can. Lou and I might hit. Let's discuss it next week at Tommy's, Lou. Let's just figure out we may need a meeting to talk about the meeting up at Tommy's. How about that?
Oh God, I know, man. This is just.
Isabel's wrong. She says nobody's making moves. There are teams though that are making moves. Slowly teams are making move. And we were Eric, you were talking about Cabrera a couple of weeks, but now he's gone. Yeah. There are people are dropping off the map, dude. There's not going to be a whole. There are 30 players, then there are 25, then there are 20. Slowly but surely, these players are dropping off the availability list. Yeah. And eventually, Eric, you're going to be like, flip a coin. We might get this guy or this guy. I'm like, well, we won't get any of them. How about that?
Hey, there ain't no coin to flip, man.
They get lots of coin. They get lots of coin to flip. They just don't want to.
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, the San Francisco Giants would push a kid out of the way if they saw a quarter in the concourse. They would push the little kid out of the way to grab that quarter.
Armand says, Eric, Glenn, Lou, I suggest Friday's show to discuss come up how to fix the MLB. No, I'm not even going that.
Oh, that's a little too.
I don't know if we're going to have a show on Friday, to be honest with you. I think
deep for me.
Sunday night will be fine.
Monday night is when we're going to come back because we got college playoff games on Thursday football, and Friday, and then football. NFL. So.
And then, hey guys, what I did want to bring up with the Tommies, and I'm going to confirm because I'm going to go by on Friday, but what I'm thinking, and again, I'm going to throw this out to the chat. We wanted to do a thing where you guys could come to Tommy's and meet us. So a day I came up with, which is before all hell breaks loose, it's about a week and a half before opening day, would be something like, if long as Glenn's back, like a Saturday, March 14th, where we could have our own. Are you going to be back, Glenn?
Oh, I got to be back for opening day. Apparently, Eric said he's not going to do a live show. I got to be there for opening day.
Obviously, so I'll make sure. You and Orange Man. But yeah, I'm thinking like something like we could have guys come by. We'll have the back room, probably meet about 3:00, and you guys can meet us. We'll meet the owners of Tommy's like on Saturday, March 14th. Yeah, there you go.
There is.
And then this way, Eric can come drive down. Glenn can, take an Uber. And I assume by that time, PG&E won't screw up again. But I'm thinking something like Saturday, March 14th, before March Madness starts, 10 days before opening day. But that's what I'm going to shoot for.
And, I like that. Yeah.
We're going to give you guys a little warning, but you guys can come meet us, come to Tommy's. we'll obviously have a couple pictures of the famous Tommy Margarita, and you guys can see what it's about. And, it'll be a good way to start the season, and hopefully by then, we have something to look forward to. Plus, by then, the good part is we would have seen 3 weeks of spring training baseball. Because as we know, opening day is on the 25th. We're going to be doing it, on the 14th. So literally 11 days before opening day. So think about that, chat. Oh. Saturday, March 14th, we're going to get together at Tommy's. You're going to be with all 3 of us, and we get a chance to meet you, because I think one of the good things is we don't really know people behind the names. You know what I mean? True. And again, especially when some people go on YouTube, we don't even get their stage names. You know what I mean? Or their screen names. So we love start thinking March 14th, Saturday. We'll probably meet about 3:00 on there, and that's something we're going to shoot for.
I like that. I like that. That sounds fun. That'll be a good time. We'll bring out baseball cards, Glenn.
Yeah, got a few signed here, so I'll give them out. By the way, Lou brings up a great. Lou is always great. I just need a little cue card instead of just saying, "Oh, I need a card that says great point, Lou." Just bring him a crazy crab. Will say, "Great point, Lou." Lou, what you're saying to us, in effect, is training camp's almost over, and we'll already need to drown our little sorrow and look for a shoulder to cry on. We'll all get together. It'll be a guys' night out to kind of figure out how we're going to survive the season.
The wake.
And
plus Lou and I get into Tommy's. Lou and I get to Tommy's. It's easy to get home. Lou, you got to get back to Galt.
Yeah, I know.
Easy for us to get home. Lou's just down the street. I'm going to get on the...
I'm as far as you, Glenn. I'm as far as you away. I don't live that close. But
you seem to find your way there more than me.
Yeah, I do go there a lot. But, they're good people. That's what it's all about. It's like doing the show.
My buddy's coming.
Perfect. There you go. That's what it's about, right?
Hey,
it's
Lou,
good people.
Answer me this before we wrap up the show, and I mean this in all sincerity. Back in the day when he was a fixture, my buddy was a fixture at the ballpark. Hello. Did they ever have merch? Can you get a T-shirt with the crab on the front? I want the crab on my shirt. I got to trade in on my Wilmer. Look at him. I got the I Heart out of a baseball there, number 41, and he's gone. I don't know. I got a whole wardrobe I got to replace now. So I'm thinking I need a crazy crab shirt. At least you know what, Eric? Win, lose, or 25 years later, you still got the crazy crab. He'll never go out of style, Lou.
I will say one thing. On the club level, when you go from my seats and you take the elevator up, if you go to the right where they have all the trophies, they do got a big version of the crazy crab. And I think we're going to have to take a photo, us 3, next time we go to the game of the crazy crab with us, and then we'll make shirts from there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think we'll have to do it when we're with you, Lou, because I'm sure you're well aware that Eric and I just don't seem to get into that section or on that elevator, specific elevator with you.
Not a problem.
Nice.
Yeah. We were up so high the last few games, Eric and I went. I said, Eric, that's blood coming out of your ear. There's something wrong here.
Nice.
Jeez. Yeah.
Let's get the hell out of here, guys.
You want to take us home, Eric? Wrap it up.
It was a fun show. A lot to discuss. I mean, look, frustration is abound, and rightfully so, right? I mean, come on. We want the Giants to go out there and win, and that's where we're coming from. Tough love, as they say, right? Right, Glenn? Tough love. Yep. So we'll be back Monday again.
My buddy.
If something big breaks and whatever. I mean, even if it's a Harrison Bader, we'll be on here to talk about it. So again, look for us on our normal, regularly scheduled program next Monday. And then we'll do it all over again. Otherwise, let's see. Maybe the Giants make a move. Maybe they don't. Lou, thanks again. Glenn, have fun with the crab. Let's get out of here.
Crabs. Here we go.
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.